Yeah?
WhatsApp on the channel.
No. It should be there now. The meeting. Studies in the Yeah, there you are. Okay. Okay then. Customizer. Okay.
దీంట్లో వచ్చింది లింక్డ్ఇన్ లో వచ్చింది.
Right. That's right. Okay. Okay. I want to share this screen also. Okay. There it is. Okay. Okay then. Hi, Janet.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I am very tired. I've had a rough week, so
Yeah. Everything went well?
it did go well. There was only one place and one nodule, and they got that out and sewed her back up, and she's on her way.
Very good. Very good. So
How are you doing?
you have to travel a lot? You have to drive a lot, right? It's probably.
Yeah, I had to drive. It's a 2 hour drive to where the hospital is, a little over 2 hours
I see.
where we went. And of course, we stayed in a hotel, which, that's nothing's like sleeping in your own bed.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm physically tired.
Yeah.
I'm emotionally exhausted, but my spirit is good. My spirit is good.
Now we are going to talk about that today. What is this mental response? But it's more like I can't see you on the camera, Janet. Did you switch it on?
Let me see what. Here I am. Can you see me now?
Yeah, I can see you now. Yeah.
Okay.
Can you see me? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So what I'm saying is, why do we have to, in normal life events, not even some sickness or something is there, but in the absence of that also, that means no emergency really, no real big deal going on, but still people are, distressed inside, kind of, anxious about small things, catching a bus and all that. But it used to be a little bit and go away. People didn't take much. But now they hang on to that. This reactivity that I see is happening quite a bit in the regular life, right? People are not knowing the knack of being focused and being what we're doing without that emotional and inner distress. Is that possible? That's the question. I say it is not only doable. Okay. So it's a question of understanding that and coming out of that, Janet. When we do that, then it will be much easier to lead the life. The trick is you take our minds and you take a sage's mind. Why is that he is awake and alert and know everything going on, but really doesn't have the reaction that we automatically have, and we hang on to the reaction. You see what I mean?
Mm.
So that is something that is possible that we could do, and that's what I wanted to look at, and maybe cut some of it, if not all the time. Then energy to have a day not depleted like you are feeling, that is cultivable. Doesn't mean you get it right away. It means how you are conditioned, how you are trained, how you are educated, how you are led to believe something which you think this is real, even though it is not real in the actual sense. So first of all, people are not like they are out of the thought. All the time thinking. That's one thing, right? The other thing is these added things come up at us, life comes at us, right? Like you have the family health, and then you had to travel, you had to sleep somewhere, and all those disturbances from your setup routines, right?
Right.
Now, first of all, why are you not able to take the routine disturbance easily? Okay, we are stuck in our own routines, right? And I want to stay in my home, I want to stay in this bed, I want to stay in this convenient, everything available in my home, like that. And then little bit goes out of the way, then we feel threatened. And the executive who is traveling a lot, And because he doesn't have this capacity, inner capacity to be calmed down when external things are a little bit out of whack, he goes through much more reactivity, much more anxiety, much more, depletion of energy. This is a stress and burnout, right? So it is more than what is out there to how we react to things. See, some people are very cool, placed, and they heaven may fall down. They say, "All right, we're alive. Let's go." That kind of attitude. But is that something that is only genetic and something we inherited? Some of it, but is it something that how you are brought up, how you are educated, how you are allowed to react to everything as though that is the real thing? See, so that's where I think it does help a lot to understand that. Okay, let's see. Let me share my document I wanted to show you. That is something very good. Nobody showed up so far. So if they come up, I'll allow them. But up to them. Okay, see, this is about nervous system mastery. This is a kind of a foundation of how to be well in a proactive way, right? See, as you see, the modern crisis is not a lack of information. We have plenty of information, right? But it is the nervous system overload. We talk about it all the time, how the phones, how all the social media, everything is dumping into us, is it? So this is like we are connected all over, and we have stimulations coming relentlessly all the time. So our bodies, they remain trapped in the pattern of activation that were never meant to be sustained activation. Only you get up, you kind of study, and then you rest, and then you relax, and that used to be the pattern, right? Now people don't have the opportunity to calm down, to relax. They're continuously stimulated, right? And uh, how we can master those stimulations that are coming at us is the first step. Okay, how we make decisions, how we do everyday well-being is very, very important. That's what I wanted to bring it notice to people.
Further out here for you.
Thank you.
See, the problem is beneath the surface. Many modern professionals, as I see them, they are facing an invisible epidemic. What is this? Chronic activation, chronic nervous system activation. All the time we're getting activated. Even you, Janet, you are not doing a job or business, anything like that. From morning till evening, you are stimulated with so many things coming at you.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe something, social media, or something, a phone call, or some information about your loved ones, whatever, right? They come at us, sometimes we want it, sometimes we don't want the information, but it comes to us. Okay, that is an epidemic, and it's going to get worse as we get into the high tech and all this. So the physical injuries are obvious stressors, like an event happened, accident happened, death happened, whatever. These things happen in life, right? These what is happening is okay, all the time this constant stimulation that is going on within you, that is kind of absorbed, and then that really makes a really problem, because this activation underneath acting silently, see, accumulating damage over time, weeks or months or years, right? So the core issue is not the presence of stress. It is the absence of resolution of the stress that is generated by the constant stimulation. That is where the proactively you learn to relax. For example, you are there How many times did you use your breathing to handle your stress?
A few times I did.
See, that is the proactive behavior you are bringing it to the, you're not allowing it like before, you are allowing it to go and then it accumulates underneath. But now at least you are trying to be aware. I don't have to react to all these small things like this. That's one thing. Or you can say, okay, my system is reaction, my condition, nervous system is kind of distressed. So let me take some few breaths. That way I can really make myself relax by proactive behavior. Now you get it?
Yes.
See, being aware of my system is reacting is one thing, because people are getting caught in the reaction right away. They don't stop for a second and say, what is this I'm worried about? What is that I'm afraid about? What is that is causing distress? Why I am doing? So this is a stimulation, because the external stimuli coming and then stimulating our, reactive sympathetic system, that produces stress hormones and they accumulate slowly. 10 reactions in a day, even though we don't think they are a big deal, but they accumulate the residue. And that's why you want to cultivate this activity of being aware of what's going on within us and doing something that relieves that. Either you kind of reform your thoughts and then change that, or you kind of allow yourself to take deep breaths and deliberately relax, or you take a shower, or you take a just use a music or something that is good for you, or just talk it out, and then get it out, or pose a question to yourself and answer that later. So if you understand how our nervous system is really functioning, that's a good thing. See, what is really missing is these three elements I always emphasize is, whenever we have daily stress cycle, we say we go out, we get into the traffic, and immediately we are careful with the driving and all that, or somebody cuts us, then we get stressed out, right? Those that stimulus activity and then reaction, all those are the cycle like, those stress cycles will go through the day, because we are living, we are going out, we are participating in life, we are talking to people. So many things happen, right? So these stress cycles, they're very small ones, but they happen over and over. You can talk to your husband, it could create a stressful response, and then you try to resolve that. Closure of that is important as it is happening. You understand? So this is the living in awareness life looks like. In awareness, you are aware that I'm reacting to this. You don't have to blame yourself. You just notice that. And then you say, do I have to do this? Right? And then people don't try to, like you did, deep breathing. They don't try something of a restoration practice that they already know. They don't stop and do it. They think, oh, this is all nonsense. They go on continuously. That's why people are stressed out at the end of the day. You see, those small cycles and the small restoration practice are important. And then really don't allow your nervous system settle down so that it can recover better. But you think more, you want more stimuli. That is the problem. With the information overload, whether you want it or not, they are coming and throwing stuff at you. That's not really good. Okay. So now I have talked about this before, but I'm going to emphasize this. If you understand, keep this mechanism in your mind, then you will see observing thoughts is what I was talking about, right? Observing the thoughts means you understand this, and then a stimuli is coming at you, you are aware. You are responding to it, you are aware. And your resolution, applying it like a deep breathing, whatever, that you are aware of. And you rest in awareness. And after a while, what happens is this whole cycle happens while you are resting, you are not hesitating. You see, this is a very important thing people are missing. It's not a big rocket science. It's simple right there in front of you, in your own hands, with your own awareness. And if you can be that, instead of allowing the thought to take over and continue by its own way. The deep breath, what it does is it kind of pauses the thought and brings you back into your awareness. For me, it is always awareness, not thought first. In awareness, thought. But if you examine closely, you are thinking, and when you think of awareness, you think, I want to be aware. What is it for you? Awareness first and thought, or thought first and then awareness in between?
I think most of the time it's thought first.
Yeah, that is the normal condition for all of us. But only the few that really understand what is to be aware. And they are aware, and then from awareness, they are observing the thoughts. This is a very critical point, Janet. If you catch it, then you're relieved forever. Lots of times people ask me, how are you? I say, I'm in bliss. That is what is blissful means. That means I'm not in the thought continuously going. Even though I do work, I do a lot of activities and all that, but this underlying restful awareness is always there. Right? So it's a question of looking at this and then making it a much more daily thing all the time without effort. Because do you have thought choicelessly, or are you aware choicelessly? When you wake up, it is not your choice. You wake up and you are aware. Right?
That's right.
You are not bringing out the awareness. You are aware. But thoughts can come on your own volition, or you can also stop them on your volition. You have a choice there. You may think, oh, they're coming, but they won't know. You allowed them to stay there like that, they're coming. But once you are aware, then you see, okay, this is coming in to me and I'm thinking, and that you are aware of that. I mean, discussion is very easy. To be in that awareness is everything. Right?
Yeah, when I get up in the morning, I feel that awareness. I'm you know, I can observe thoughts and whatever comes at me. I'm good at that in the morning. As the day wears on, I become less and less able to snap into that.
Yeah. Hi, Prasad. You see, we were talking. Yeah, we were talking about mental distress that people are having, and why this is so important in the modern time. Doesn't have to be, you don't have to be intellectual, scientist, discover things. No. Ordinary, regular life, what is happening here is, I was showing this Janet is the only one, my wife is Janet, so everybody. So we were talking about nervous system mastery is foundation of proactive awareness. Okay, so what is the problem? So many stimulations, so much of activation, and we don't have a closure to daily stress cycles. Small things. Somebody says something to you, you react, and then you carry on. That's all the cycle. Again, another cycle comes, right? And then also, you don't cultivate a restoration process to do that. Right there, you got to do it. Otherwise, it is kind of, people want to do it at the end of the day or the weekend and all that. But what is the wisdom is, why does a sage doesn't react? Why you are reacting? Why is he established in awareness and thinks, but doesn't allow this constant reactivity? Okay, notice in your life how much reactive I am during the normal day. I'm getting up and getting ready hurriedly, and then getting in the car or going driving, and then going into the office rooms, and all those things people do without really realizing they have become very reactive inside. It's not like a calm, placid, happily going there and working. See, generally, I'm talking about our culture that is evolved. See, and then also, as they are not aware but thinking, they don't have this protected space for nervous system recovery. Okay, you are constantly stimulating. That is the common thing now. So this is a very important point for people to understand. So actually, a couple of these girls, they were always talking to me about, I'm thinking constantly. I do it now. I present. I give them this invitation. They don't show up. And then even if they come up, if they understand, if they don't implement, no use, right? But if they understand, like I was talking to Janet, she underwent a week of family care. Her daughter had some procedure. Her husband has something, and she had to travel. She has to go and stay in a hotel room that she didn't like. All the small things. I'm talking about those small things that happen. How can you take care of it at that time? So the question I put to Janet was, are you aware first and you think consciously, or you are in thought first and aware? She said, I'm in thought all the time, awareness once in a while when I remember it. What about you, Prasad? What are you in actual life?
So yeah, I heard what Janet was telling. Well, I do this practice in the morning, breathing exercise, etc. And whenever I feel stress, also I know that it's coming to me, and I stop thinking and or doing anything, and then I again repeat the breathing stuff, and that helps me actually. I feel like
Good.
I'm
You
out.
are you are in the network of thought. You're trying to restore it,
Yeah.
control.
Mm.
What I am talking about is choiceless awareness that we already have. We don't have any choice about it.
Mm.
Okay. Are we based in that or not? I am saying I am based in that after lot of years of study, Krishnamurti, Ramana Maharshi, and all that, and applying that in the life. Okay, that is the difference between you and me. Is I apply that on a moment to moment basis.
Mm-hmm.
Just catch that. You don't have to compare. You don't have to say I'm less than that. No, that's nothing. It's a question of allowing our nervous system take it over and being in charge of it. Being in charge of the nervous system, then you will be able to know that is this stimulus coming at me that is getting more and more because activities we have, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that is not going to change, that's going to increase. This
Mm-hmm.
constant stimulation is the epidemic I'm talking about all over, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then how you respond, how you react according to your values, according to your training, according to your education, your culture, so many things, right?
Yes.
Then you respond from your nervous system. Some of them you are aware, some of them they just seem to become respond automatically, right? And then how you resolute that response, how you rest from that is the key. I wrote a book called Monk's Mind. A monk will be always resting. He may get stimuli, but he won't immediately react to it and respond to it. And they don't have to resolve it because he don't allow the reaction to take over him. Very important point. Okay. If you understand this, then you'll be like me, restful, peaceful, blissful, no matter what comes. But doesn't mean I don't respond with a responsible action. I only respond with the inner peace. This is the crux what people are going through. This is the advice Krishna gives to Arjuna. Emotional responses come and go. Don't worry about them. Pandita, that means the real wise people, will not allow those reactions take over. See what wisdom was there in Bhagavad Gita. And so this association with his grandparent, other people, his affection for them, his fear about that he's going to kill them, the people who he loves, and that is all giving so much of distress for him inside. That's why he said, I'm not going to fight, I'm going to drop the weapons. So it's not only him, but you or Arjuna going to the office, getting those situations where your mind reacts to whatever reason. You may be attached to them, or you may have respect for them, or you don't have the instinct to do anything to them. Number of things are variables. But actual what happened to Arjuna at that time is happening at a higher level for him, at a bigger scale. But the same thing happening to modern life. When you go to work, you don't go say whistling, oh, I'm going to enjoy my work and all that. You go to these days, you go with a trepidation, apprehension, and also really look at say, no matter who is planning against me, who is going to, all these things, and these things are really takes the juice out of you in the long run. That is when you are stressed out, you are burnt out. What I am saying is this is proactive wellness means be aware of this constant stimulation, be aware of your own reactions to it, and question that, and also learn some, like Janet did deep breathe when she was stressed. Restore those practices that you learned how to relax. See, I was telling that I may have so many stimuli. I don't allow the emotional reaction, but I respond to with a responsible action without that emotional turmoil, right? And then the resolution happens because I don't allow the situation to go into that. If you are reacting, you have stress hormones, and the stress hormones chemical reaction will be there on our thing, and we go carry that. But if you really pause at the stimulus and the response, and then you're much better off. So then you're always in the rest mode. Normally, you have a stimulus and you have emotional reaction, you respond to it, and then you create a conglomerate of stress reactions within you, and you try to resolve it with the things that you understand. But you allowed the stressful reaction happen because you are scared or emotional, whatever. But if you start to be in rest, that means you never allowed the distress to take over, then you are always restful, but responding to the responsibility that you have. You know what is the chief obstruction for this? You
Say
should
that again, sir.
tell me, huh? What
Say
is
that
the
again.
chief
What is that?
chief obstruction for this to be in restful condition?
I think our thoughts.
No, your ego.
Ego. Oh, yeah.
See,
Yeah.
because I say something to Janet, and immediately, even before she knows it, if I say something nasty, her ego will respond. But if you are aware of that ego, Janet, this is what you are doing, observing the thought. See, but if you identify with your ego, I am Janet, I'm so old, I'm so respected, I should be talked like this, immediately that ego responds. Nothing wrong. I'm telling you as it happens everyday life. Right? Then ego is supposed to direct us to do some things as such and way or another, but not to give us an identity. That's the mistake we make. Very important point. Understand that. It's not that ego is bad, ego should not be there. That's all unnecessary. What it is that real? Is that another thought? Is there something real within me than the ego? That is what happens when you go and touch the, what is this? This is what happens when you go deep within yourself. Okay? So that is what you want to understand. I think this is so prevalent, so universal these days, as though that is the big deal. Right? And that's why people are not able to get out of it, because on a continuous basis, on a daily, you can see it in your own life. You can see you are constantly allowing this to fortify itself. Right? So, Janet, imagine yourself, you cultivated this awareness and you have to go with your and all that. Every moment you feel stressful, you would have resolution right there. That's why, how much did you catch to be in aware and think? What do I say? Be in awareness and think volitionally, think intentionally, and stop thought intentional. See, that is what we need to understand, then it will be much better. Okay. So if you don't have a regulated nervous system like this, and then you allow the activation go on, what is it stealing from you? This is true in the modern life. It is much more, because people cannot sit down and enjoy under a tree like the ancient people did. They have to be engaged with something. They have to do something, whether this makes a difference or not. But just to, oh, I cannot sit calmly, I cannot sit down, and then I have to go. Right? So what it does, if you allow this activation to continue, even if you are a parent, you're a teacher or a school teacher, whatever, you want to understand this and help the kids, right? What I'm saying is very, very important, but people don't take it as information and go away. See whether you are doing this in your life and then apply that. Okay, then see you today, right now, it happens a difference, make a difference. Okay, so otherwise, if you don't do it, what's happening is, like you were telling Janet, you are physically exhausted.
Yes.
What happened? Did you walk a lot? Did you work a lot? Did you do? No. It's all in your mind. You're going through this stress cycle. Worry about daughter, worry about the husband, their procedure and all that. Not that you should not do, just a fact that we go through all these things, that it becomes a physical depletion. Okay. My case is, you don't have to go through all these things. It's not that you are bad because you are going through. No. How we are not aware of this nervous system activation stealing us from our physical depletion, chronic fatigue. That happens because these people are going and working half his work and everything, but they feel so exhausted because of that. Whereas I go, my energy doubles as I do things. I showed you so many times. My energy doesn't deplete, right? It kind of goes into more repletion. That means I don't waste my energy. That's all. What you see is my energy going up is because I'm into the thing, I'm focusing everything, and I direct my energy into that. See, in this also, for example, I'll show you. I sent an invitation maybe around 20 people. Okay. These people want me to be there for them when they are distressed and all that. But when I want to educate them on these things to learn and do it for themselves, they don't show up.
So, Dr. Rao, I have a curious question here.
Yeah.
I think this would be useful for the listeners also. Given your experience, the way how it would influence in general, depending on our lifestyles, age, health issues. Could you throw some light in this direction?
I couldn't
About the-
understand the question. What is the question?
So, per your different stages of your life, how it helped you. Could you describe how it helped you, depending on the age level and nutrition and other stuff? Many people have different lifestyles and
Yeah,
age.
but I can tell you the life story. What I'm telling you is a point that you want to employ your own intelligence and understand
Okay.
and apply that, because I am already at the stage where I can rest and take the stimuli and be aware and not be depleted.
Mhm.
That I want also to have it. Okay, so it is what happened was in 1980s when I was a physician already. I'm dealing with a lot of thoughts all the time, right? And I didn't know this mechanism and all that. Krishnamurti told me something about proper use of thought and allowing the thought do on its own. So that I eliminated. I only use thought voluntarily and end thought alternately, because I can see thought as an object thing for me. It's not like the thoughts are coming and they're influencing me. I am thinking voluntarily, consciously. This is what I teach now. Be in awareness, get up in awareness, don't allow the thoughts to come in, and then use the thought through the day as an instrument, but also learn to end it. People are so lazy, they don't want to do any of that. They just go on talking and then talking, tell them the information. That is not going to work for them. I may tell them so many times, but why is this, if you look at it, some people are trying to come. Are they coming and going away? Maybe.
Yeah, a couple of them came in. I think they are my invitees, and they left. I don't know.
And I did send, I allowed them, they came in and they left too.
Yeah, two people. Sorry for that disturbance.
Yeah, but they want only information all the time, they want to engage with their mind. But here, what you need is mind is focused on what is being done. What it is you got to look at it for yourself. Am I activating my mind like this every day? Am I making the mistake or allowing it to take me over, or am I in charge? That is only you will know. Nobody will know. And then if you see it like that and then come out of it, it's very your own good. Otherwise, this constant nervous system activation, a lot of people want to come to tell me that they have this meeting, they have that meeting and all that. So they'll go and read these people and all, but they don't pay attention to what I am telling them. I don't need to go to anybody. I need to go only into myself. I learned that long time ago. But I come and tell because friends like Janet, Prasad, my wife, and all these people, they are interested to transform themselves. So these talks are for those people who want to transform themselves by enlightening themselves from within. See, what happened with Krishnamurti was thought you are using for everything and you are under the thought, but you don't have to. Initially, it was very tough for me to understand. But once I understood, for practical purposes, I can use thought. Okay? Arjuna has to do the war and he has to, arm himself properly. He has to do the arrows. He has to do all that work, right? That he will do, But the distress emotionally that he was going through, that is what Krishna warned him against. Don't hold on to these things where they are not permanent. They will come and go. Even not only the bodies and minds, but our own thoughts, our own emotions, they come and go. We give too much importance to that, and then we go into distress. So this activation along with the emotional or thought distress that we go through is it causes physical depletion. right? So it doesn't help you unless you are looking for this kind of thing. I may describe it, but it is not the description. It is the lived truth that you have to catch. Okay, then it will be happy for you. Okay, then you will say, okay, I am not really exhausted. Like Janet, I don't mean to point out to you, you didn't do anything wrong. But I was telling you, suppose you have this perspective before this week, you won't have to go through half of the stress that you have gone through the week. Suppose you are aware of it, and then you are aware of the thoughts, observing the thoughts, then you will not have the distress, the physical depletion, and also cognitive decline. Mechanical thought, continuously in the loop thought, actually weighs you down. This also, Krishnamurti said, you don't investigate something and you take somebody else's idea and you go through the idea again and again and again, you only have mechanical mind, not an intelligent mind. These are big deals, Prasad. They won't come with the information. They won't come just because somebody lived it. You got to live it. See what I mean? I know what you're talking about, but I'm telling you, catch what I'm saying. If I say be in awareness, catch that. Why I'm not able to catch the awareness? In the morning I wake up, I'm aware. Why I'm not staying there like that? Why I'm inverting all sorts of thoughts coming to me and then go. So what did I say? First thought, delay that. Bring yourself into the presence. This is what I described, right? The whole day is get up in awareness, delay the thought, and then when you have to do a job, use the thought and end the thought after the job is done, so that you are not really burdened with constant activation, constant thought, constant emotional distress. Also, emotional volatility will happen if you allow this activation to go on continuously. So this is what you want to catch, Janet. How can I be emotionally equivalent in the presence of good or bad things? You don't have to have right away, but be aware of that. There's something like that is there. And then think about it, go into it, investigate. That is the one that you are to do. And the burnout risk is high in people who are having this activation constantly. Why are we having so much burnout in this age of plenty? The people who have degrees, money, comforts, everything, they are exhausted. They have loved ones, they have families and everything. Why they are exhausting themselves? Why is that so many physical complaints, physical things are whatever challenges I have as a stroke victim and all that? Why is that I'm more like a always really have the energy to contribute to life?
Dr. Rao, could you just mute this Bhaskar? He is popping up. I don't know what's going on. That is a distraction. He could ask via text because we can't hear him in case if he is trying.
I don't know. It's the mute button is not seen here. Please, the mute button is not seen.
Sorry about this.
I can't hear anything, but
Okay. Yeah. So he is popping up. Sounds like he is having bad connection or something. Okay. If you can figure out, please continue, sir.
yeah, I don't know.
Or you may give me administrative role also, administrator
I
role.
don't know how to do that also.
Okay, we will talk about that later. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah, please continue.
Okay.
Bhaskar, if you are listening to us, could you please mute yourself?
Yeah, I see some Dharani is muted. It gives me ask to unmute, but not mute.
Okay, I found this on the web for Turn. Check it out.
As it is, I have in front of me 4 screens. But I'm
Oh,
only
okay.
dealing with one, 5 screens
Yeah,
actually.
I know it is a it is a challenge. Yeah.
No, I'm only dealing with this screen. I have 5 screens in front of me, you know. So, but you know what I did? I'm transmitting this through the Restream 3 channels: Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube.
Mhm.
You see, we simultaneously transmit there, but I'm only dealing with one screen, you know. So, I see that now is the mute screen.
Yeah.
I'm pressing it, nothing is happening there.
Okay. We'll figure out later on. So
No, you see, it is there. I can see it. When I hover on his name, the mute is coming up, but when I'm clicking on it, it is not working.
okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, I can't hear anything from him, you know. So where are we? So the fact is very simple. Today's fact is we have this constant stimulation either from outside or from within our own memories, our own reactivity mind and all, right? That if you go on allowing that activation and also the stimulation and also the reaction, you will have physically depleted, exhausted, chronic fatigue. Because people are doing it on they have a job, they have a family, they have everything, but they have all this immense tension generated within their own mind. Sometimes it could be threatening their security. I'm going to fire you, or I'm going to take your license away. I'm going to sue you. All these social threats. The other thing is, oh, if I don't lose my livelihood, how can I live? All those things are there. You know, they compound. But essential first thing is not able to understand this inner mind mechanism of constant activation and reaction emotionally and causing turmoil within for small things or big things or no things. Imagination sometimes. Okay. So once you understand, then you see if I think mechanically like this, I'm going to be exhausted mentally and emotionally. That is the burnout. Okay. So the first principle is here very simple. First principle is pay attention to the incoming input, regulate that. Don't have to absorb everything from everybody or every source, right? Then what happens? This somebody Bharatas coming and going, you know. What is that? So what is happening here is more like a problem for people not able to understand and getting exhausted because their own thing. So don't allow a lot of things that you don't need. Switch it off, turn it off. Don't allow them to come in. Suppose you're going to work, go to work. Don't stop 10 people and then engage in lots of gossip and all that. People do that. And then they're not able to be focusing on their job. I mean, not everybody, but some people do like that. So, first of all, regulate the input. What is important for me? What is not? Janet, do you do that? I can't hear you. You're muted. You are muted, Janet.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What I was saying is I can see where I need to do more of that,
Yeah.
in particular with social media,
Yeah.
because it gets me going. With all the political stuff that's going on in this country, it makes me crazy.
Yeah.
And I need to stop that.
Yeah.
You know, I need to stop listening to it.
Yeah. That's what is happening with a lot of people. They are worried about current conditions, the politics, the ecology, the monetary, so many things are going on, but they don't help you in the long run. Suppose you have to know about weather, fine. Suppose you have to know about what's happening with your money, fine. Suppose you have what is happening with my loved ones, that's fine. Keep those, take a board or something, write down what is important for me. It's not a selfish thing. It's what is that I'm trying to do? What is that I'm here for? What do I want to do my rest of my life? That kind of thing. For me, it's very simple. Go inward and find out who you are and rest there. And
Yeah.
having that kind of assurance within you, then come out and help people. Right? That's it. That's the only thing that I have. So very simple. Somebody calls me the other day, some girl called me, or she's very angry, anxious and all that. I sent her an invitation. I don't know why those girls did not join, because I sent all of them invitation. Dharani, you want to see whether they are able to get in, because it's important for them too. Actually, one of them really wanted to listen to this, that's why I did that. Maybe they are coming to the other channel instead of coming onto the. See, I don't know, because that is important for them. They asked me.
Well, I think these, I don't know what you call them, pictures you're putting up with the principles and everything. I think that's very useful. And, maybe they can look at that later and get something from
they
it.
can go to the YouTube and look at these things. Anyway, the first principle is always regulate that input by knowing what is coming at you is important for you or not. In the beginning, it will take some time, but be at it for a week, and then at the end of the week, write down this is important, this source is, for me, for example, CNBC in the morning, PBS in the evening. I know the entire world what is going on with those two programs, right?
Yeah.
But in between also I can watch what I want. But I pay attention to the stimuli I get. Like for example, yesterday, self-inquiry for the whole day is the topic. Okay. Then I began to write about that, the importance of self-inquiry. What do you understand self-inquiry mean, Janet?
Just to question my thought processes and what I'm doing and how I'm spending my time. And
Yeah. What about you, Prasad?
Yes, same thing. I check myself, how my conduct is, how I am responding to different
That's fine. That's fine. I will
situations.
tell you how I understood self-inquiry.
Yeah.
People struggle with restless mind, right? They have the restless mind, they want to take medication, or they want to do mindfulness practices, or they want to take deep breaths and control it, or they want to do meditation, it's a variety of meditations and all that. But self-inquiry is way different than all these things. Okay? Self-inquiry means you start with the question of who am I? What am I? And then during the day, the I am that I discovered, is that operating, or is my body, mind, emotions, they are operating and dominating such that I forget my real self. Inquiring into the real self, identifying that and operating through that, using the mind and body as instruments. Then what happens is you are liberated from all this stimulation, all this noise. You are in a place within yourself that is peaceful, that is itself peace, because you don't have this movement of mind going all over. Right now, all I see is minds dominating you. That's not a criticism or putting you down. Actual state. Okay? Is that advantages for you, or is this tranquility that you have when you see you are that inner awareness that is thoughtless, choiceless. Stay there. That requires a lot of understanding, lot of inquiry. That is the self-inquiry you embark on every day. Beyond meditation, beyond mindfulness, beyond all the vipassanas, asanas, and all that. Asking, like, who is that? I'll tell you what is the same story I told you before, but I'll tell you again. There is this major Kangdan or somebody in Ramana Maharshi's ashram, right? So he came there sacrificing all his properties, sisters, everybody in Europe, and settled down in Ramana Maharshi's ashram for several years. So people thought he must be an enlightened person. That's why he's staying with the Ramana Maharshi. Okay? Whereas Major Congdon felt he is not enlightened yet. He knows everybody thinks that, but he is not. He has this mind going on continuously into conflict and all. So he goes to Ramana Maharshi one day and says, "Sir, everybody thinks I am this, but I don't feel I am this. What is going on?" Then Ramana Maharshi asks only one question. Who is that is going through this conflict within you? Who is it that you had to answer those people, answer yourself, answer what is truth and all that? Who is that? Then he says, it's my mind, right? Yeah, but is that you? Nah. And then he really got a shock out of that question by Ramana Maharshi. He goes home, and after a while, he kind of realizes this is that simple. You understand? However much I talk, however much I say, you guys slip into the constant mind activity again. Then you are not really into your real self, which is thoughtless and awareness that is choiceless. Once you establish yourself, you can function like I'm functioning now. I'm trying to convey. I see a lot of this activation, separate activation going on people. People are getting stressed out, burnout, and they come and they pay me a lot of money to come out of that. Right? What I want is proactively be well about this. So I'm giving the clues to you, but it is up to you to work on yourself. It's like a pointing inward, but you have to travel yourself. Get it? So it's very important for my daughter, for my friends, everybody I see, they think a lot. And they don't realize this activation is coming, all those declines, physical decline, cognitive, emotional volatility, and burnout. All these things are happening because of this simple thing. Now, test yourself. How much I am allowing my thought dominate me, or am I aware that I'm being dominated? Am I aware all the stimuli coming at me, like a Prasad, he gets a call, he gets a meeting, he does all this mental stimulation. How is he handling it is the question. All I'm pointing out is a very simple thing that you can do, and that will be fine. Okay, then you will be, actually you will be very happy. First of all, you know what feels, Prasad? The weight is gone. Any situation comes, like Janet had to travel to a couple of hours, and this one, that situation would have been easier for us to handle if she doesn't have this activation, worry, and all that. Right, Janet?
Right.
That's what I'm pointing out. Very ordinary things can make us this because we are used to that. Nobody is pointing out, hey, look at it. Why do you have to feel like that? And the thing is, now you employ this principle from moment to moment all day while you are working. That is the challenge. Then the self-inquiry, you question into those states. You understand why I'm feeling like this, why I should be doing that. All that you will come to, you will see, I was trained like this. Like, for example, Janet is in a particular religion, and she understood this is the way they want to influence me. I don't want that. Right, Janet?
Right.
So that's the same way with other stimuli too. Now they are gone. She doesn't belong to the religion anymore. She cannot belong, she can go to the church, but doesn't have to have identification with that. Because we are basically human beings, all of us. So you don't reject anybody and then you don't say, oh, I'm going to be only this. I will take the wisdom from it. Why do I have to be controlled by them? See, this is called conditioning of our way of living, mind, emotions. We don't never look at them. Self-inquiry is looking at them without judging yourself, without making any particular conclusions or saying, oh, I'm a bad person, I'm feeling this. No, this is just thought. Don't execute it, let it go. This is why in the morning report, what I say, you stretch your body to release the tension. Okay, that will help the mind. And you deep breathe, the deep breathing slows down your mind. And you make sure you are present here by following the breath. And fourth thing is, any thoughts come up in that silence, in that awareness, watch them, let them come and go. You are the sky of awareness. Your thoughts are the clouds that come and go. They gather together and they give a storm. That is the anxiety, that is the fear. That is all. So when you are losing to improve this inner resilience, Janet, then a simple trip to 2 hours away to a different hotel and your procedure, they all go going through well. Having anxiety about okay, but you will overcome that, then you go there joyfully and participate with full energy. And also, if things go right, you enjoy. If things go bad, you kind of take it for granted. But you have done your effort. You see, in between what happened, you are not having this torture of your thought or reactions and all. Am I clear, Janet, with that?
Yes.
Very simple. I'm not blaming her or anybody. A lot of people do much less than at her age. They don't even want to go. They don't even want to participate. They don't want to take on the consoling the people or giving encouragement to their daughter and husband. Janity is doing it now. So you have the physical resilience with my asanas and breathing, Janet, somewhat mind control. But now I'm giving you a new tool, what's called self-inquiry into what is going through every day with each situation. Prasad, you also want to do this. Don't get carried away with ideas, with conclusions, judgments, and all that. Let them come and go. You will do a good job without depleting yourself. Do you understand my secret of my energy? My motivation is, how can I give a tool to my friend Janet, to Prasad, to my wife, and everybody who is here, so that they can use it and transform their mind from exhaustion. And this is why people age very fast. This is why people really do not enjoy themselves with the things. Like Janet is not able to move before, now she is moving. Her main thing is she's spending time with her loved ones, the grandchildren, children, and husband and all. So she is living her life with a resilience generated by her own effort. But I go much deeper and deeper, finer and finer, as you guys are ready to receive. There is no point forcing people into anything. But you can see me, how I am at this age, at all the conditions and everything. Get it? So that's why the first principle here is, watch all this nonsensical information that people are throwing at us. That's why we call this attention economy. People want our attention, so they want to throw everything. Okay, so that first thing is that. Okay, second thing is, This is important too. Whenever you have a thought, don't go to some other thought right away. Finish that, complete that thought. What is the thought about? What is that telling me to do? Should I respond to this or react to it? Why should I react to it? There is no danger in it. Why should I employ my sympathetic nervous system? Take deep breaths and slow the thought down. Identify one thought and then complete the thought. That's an art too, because people are never pausing to see what kind of thoughts coming, where they're coming from or not. They think the deeper they think, the more they think, the better they are. No, the more efficiently you think. What is the good thought to talk about? What is not? How do I have to allow all these unnecessary thoughts to go away? All that is no, that is a Patanjali Yoga system I talked to you about. Okay, so the practice is take thoughts to completion. Write them down, Janet, fully. You have a thought, right? Write it down. Speak them clearly and make a decision rather than endlessly deliberating on that thought. Do this daily, simple. And this does not mean you are rushing. It means bringing conscious closure to cognitive process.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And then completion signals safety to your nervous system. That's the important thing to understand. Okay? You suppose Prasad tells me something about, or do this, do that. I think about it, but when I see the futility of it, unless he is the only one asking, nobody else is asking, I will talk to him and that's finished. Okay, I don't want to carry on that continuously. I don't want to say, who are you to tell me? No. Why should I? No, that's all egoic activity. I listen, I see what is it, what it is, do it. If it's not, let it go. Okay, and the third principle, you see, first principle is what, Janet? What is the first
What?
principle? What is the first principle?
I
Don't
don't
allow
know, but
any,
I've got it written down.
don't allow anything coming into your mind.
Right.
See, look at this. Regulate the input that is coming into you. Okay.
Right.
Second thing is, input has come, you produce a thought, and you complete the thought. Okay. And then deliberately slow the breath. Then what happens is all the thoughts you are coming continuously, they slow down, and you can slow down to one thought eventually. Okay. That's why I tell, get up in the morning, do the deep breathing, and every 1 hour, 1 minute, deep breathing. Do that every 1 hour and come back to present. That's the idea. That's in this moment. Then once you slow the breath, that the whole thing goes down. Okay. And the fourth principle is, once you are one thought for a while, that slips into stillness. No more thoughts. It doesn't happen just like that. First of all, try to cut down the input. Okay? You don't have any chance to respond to things. Regulate your life. Say boundary, says, I'm not going to be talking to anybody this 1 hour. Or I'm not going to allow continuous repetition of things. Okay? And then slowly in your own mind, you can do that. So regulate that. That's the first thing you can do. Then complete your thoughts and write them down and all that, speak them up and all. Then slow the breath. When you are having a lot of thoughts, slow the breath. Then automatically, mind you, there's a connection between thought and the breath. If you deep breathe, slow breath, thoughts will slow down. If you are really thinking too fast, anxious, then you will be breathing fast. You can see that. A lot of people do that, right? And the fourth principle is then enter into the stillness. This stillness, you want to stay for a few seconds in the beginning, then 1 minute, then 5 minutes max in the morning, in the evening. That means those 5 minutes, you don't have a radio, TV, nothing. You will be in a room, close your eyes, and then also practice that deliberate sitting down in stillness. But ultimately, actually, you will slip into what's called samadhi. That is the highest healthy state. Okay? You will slip into samadhi after a while because you understand what is this unnecessary noise. I don't live with the noise. That is the secret of the energy also. Now, how much noise you are allowing to come into you?
Not as much as I used to.
Yeah, that's it. That's a good progress, Janet. What I'm
Yeah.
saying is, a lot of it, everything is noise.
It is.
So everybody wants to come here and tell me you want to learn this idea. I don't want any more ideas. I'm just happy with my own silence. I will listen to Ramana Maharshi. Why do I have to listen to you? If you think I know this expertise, keep your expertise. I don't want to have their expertise. My expertise is now how to heal people from suffering, how to make them well for a long time, and how to make the wellness a proactive thing that they can do. This is something they can do proactively. You go to the work with this attitude, I don't have to allow everything to threaten me, everything to go into my mind. Let me focus on what I need to do. I'm here to serve somebody through my job. Do that. But this constant activity about getting more clever, more knowledgeable, you don't need more knowledge. What you need is slow down and go into yourself. Then all the knowledge will flood through you. Is the knowledge not important? What is your lived experience? Are you living in anxiety, in a lot of this mechanical thought? Then you're going to burn yourself out. I think suffering is real. That is happening with everybody. Even Janet's weekend suffering is suffering for me. Even though she went for a good cause, she went with a good intention, she has no control of her mind and going on this. They are unnecessary as far as I'm concerned. Once she lands, she will understand that. Go there, help the family, be with them, support them with your own inner resilience. How you are handling the so-called small crisis, people are handling with a lot of expenditure of their energy. How many conditions I hear every day? People with tremendous suffering. One girl says, I'm a coach, but I cannot talk in front of a crowd. That's suffering for her. And I cut her out of it. Somebody says, my dear one, my husband, my wife died. I'm suffering like this. It's a tremendous suffering, really missing 64 years of marriage. Then I sat with him and make him realize what is life, what is death, what is inevitable, why should we do it? He come out of it. So those things are not measured because I don't sell things, I don't make money and all that. But people don't even come there because they don't want to put the work. But if they put the work, see, the people also, like Janet and Prasad, when you hear this, they say, oh, this is good, everybody should know. And then you want everybody to come and learn. That is what I want to see. Am I influencing people in the right way so that they learn their own strengths and deal with the suffering in their life? I'm doing that on a daily basis. But if I think about it, if I say, oh, I am so great, I'm this, that is the ego. That I want to eliminate with self-inquiry. Identify it as it projects, as this comes. Say, oh, I'm such a great person, I'm doing all this. That's the egoic activity. Do I need that? No. All I need is compassion to the person who is suffering and showing them the way and let them operate on their own. No, I want to have so many ideas, so much deep thinking. But when I question, what do you do in your real life? How are you in challenging situation? How is your mind normally? How do you deal with losing a job or not having resources and or facing a real problem like a natural event, a natural calamity? What do you do? So this is why going into our conscious being by self-inquiry is important. Then you are landed up in your real self and let everybody go through the mind chatter, mind discussion, which is actually Prasad. All the meetings, everything that you do, you employ this principle of understanding what is activation, being aware of it, and not allowing the activation to overwhelm you. Not everything will go according to us, right? Some people come and challenge some things and all. And then we'll all in this reaction, convincing them and all that. I'm through that. So now when I train the leaders in my servant leadership, what do I do? The leadership impact on this is what changes when your nervous system stabilizes, you want to understand. So I want people to get up and stabilize their nervous system. In my morning road, breathing, being aware all hour is important. Do you catch that, right, Janet? When I start,
Yes.
we do the exercise. That's good. We relieve all the tamas in our body, that is the laziness, stiffness, or tension in the body by stretching and all that. But at the same time, breathing into it. Actually, when I do that, it looks very simple. But at the end of it, we feel good. Right, Janet? We are energized. We are kind of doing that. Lots of times, Janet is the only one comes on the Instagram. I will do it for her at least.
I appreciate that, Dr. Rao. You don't know how much.
Yeah, I know. But the thing is, other people don't come because they cannot maintain a regularity, probably. They want to once in a weekend. No, you have to find the body in the morning. How much time we do? 30 to 45 minutes, maybe 1 hour. But we are attending to the body by stretching and deep breathing. We are focusing our mind because we bring our mind back to the focus of the nose and the air coming through. And we we observe our own thoughts. So what is happening there? I'm making people to be aware in the movement and do the stuff for the body and the mind, which are both instruments, fine tuning them, and then opening up our heart to give, which I'm giving. Morning routine is free. Everybody can come. And I'm giving it every day out of my heart. When you do out of heart, you don't have this mind, keeping mind, ledger mind. What is I'm getting? How should I charge? And all. None of it is there. It is straight from the heart so that you can get your body, mind, heart ready to go and work. What I'm saying, go there and give with your heart, heartful, not that calculating mind. Whatever job you are doing, you may be paid for it, that's fine, but still coming out of your heart. Doctors, I told a lot of people in the COVID time how they can open up their heart and give it. Thereby, they are not threatened, they are not fearful, but they kind of do. So this is the same thing. Right? When the leaders are come, first of all, they have clarity. Clarity of a human being, clarity of a human life, clarity of their own role that they chose, what they want to do. So once they have that, if you can see the situations more clearly and you have a regulated nervous system. This is something I do every day morning to get people to regulate their nervous system, calm them down, and you process information with no distortion of chronic stress, right? And you allow for more nuanced and strategic thinking. The thinking is thought through at what you want. That is how I use thought for external things, but bringing it to a clear mind, balanced mind. Okay, so you have enhanced clarity because of that. Now you make the decisions better because you know what is you are looking at. You're not influenced by some outward forces, but you go according to what is right, what is useful. Human beings enhanced wellness is my goal when I do anything. Very clear, right? So become physical, mental, psychological, spiritual problems, that's okay. But still, you can enhance them from where they are to what they are. Okay, so you will have a decision making that's better if you don't have this constant nervous system going out of whack because of the stimulation reactions. And then emotional stability. That's a very important skill. I don't have to teach emotional intelligence when I make them emotionally stable. Loving thought, including everybody, doing everything for everybody. Suffering is everywhere. So I'm addressing suffering with everybody. Not that they have to suffer and I should feel good and I do it. No, why they should have to go through? Out of compassion. That's a natural quality physicians have. Bring that out. They kind of think, oh, there's weakness. No, there's not weakness. That's actually your strength. Okay? And then you develop this authentic resilience within yourself, not with anything involved in medication, what I told you. Anything involved doing somebody else doing for you. It's all about your understanding. Go and find out. Go and explore it. Don't believe me, but understand what is he talking about. He's talking about being resilient in all situations, being strong. Okay, so that those are all the impacts on the leadership. They make better decisions, they live, and they come after the day with accomplishment, not with exhaustion. Why I don't get exhausted? Because of all these reasons. You get it? So you can begin your nervous system mastery journey starting from today. So implement the daily reset protocol, which I talked about. And then my proactive wellness movement is, what are the proactive things you are doing to keep up your wellness? Or are you so occupied by, you are driven by the things that you want to do externally? I don't care how much noble cause it is. But if you don't take care of your wellness, how can you take care of wellness of the world? Put that question, then you're not being selfish, you're being responsible. You are going to play a role, like I'm playing a role of influencer about people being well. People being well for a long time. People being well on their own, not with the medications. If they need, you can take it, but not getting addicted like the modern people are doing it. Right? So this live training that I'm doing all the time, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evenings, and the people join my club. Janet, I think I'm thinking of a circle. You and Prasad and some other people, they can join for a small paltry fee for a month. Okay, and then they will get 1 hour every week with me as a group, and continue these practices and ask me questions about difficulties they may face. What do you think? Is that a circle good idea? Janet, you're muted. I can't hear you.
Sounds like a good idea to me, Dr. Rao.
Huh?
It sounds like a good idea. I like
Yeah.
this a lot. This has been
Saturday I will be coming, and 1 hour I'll spend with you guys, the circle, and see where they are progressing, what they are doing, and also they have access to a lot of programs that I have. They can go and access that library and listen to it. Only exclusive access only to those people. There are a lot of material that I have prepared for this. I want to use it in a proper way. So how about $29 per month? Is that a good price for the circle?
sounds all right to me.
Yeah, that is what I'm going to tell people, and then they can join and they will have the opportunity to do these live meetings with me every week, 1 hour, and also direct access to the library where you will find exercises, meditations, and all that. And also you will be able to communicate with answer and questions like to with me, that way I can focus on the people who are really interested, who are really doing. What do you think, Prasad? Is that a good idea?
Yeah, of course, that's a good idea.
Yeah, just to keep a circle at $29 and welcome maybe 10, 15 people are good enough, and then they can listen to these talks in a focused way rather than I'm doing all the effort and only 2 or 3 people are. Okay. So today, see, all those people every day I tell them, and I told them I'm doing this, attend this. This is mental distress thing. All those people who I did not show up. They all said because they have some program, something in the evening. But I told them this is hour that's good for us in the Saturday, and I would do it, and then they did show up.
Dr. Rao, I have years experience in sales, and I can tell you that when you charge money for
Yeah,
something, it has more value to people.
yeah, that's why I will start this. Janet, why don't you help me with the sales thing then?
Well, I'm retired, but I'll do what I can.
Yeah, no, see what we are doing and tell them is it correct or not. That's all.
Okay.
Actually, I don't do any sales. Actually, I'm very poor at that. I just want people to realize how valuable this is and attend, and that is not happening. People want to come and tell me, oh, this. I say, oh, all I am saying is, it's not that I know, but try this. How can you be healthy like me and happy, peaceful, and all that like me? Because these things we have done. So, like Prasad was asking me, go through each life and all that. I've been talking about this all the time, how I recovered from the stroke, how I started this wellness movement, how I encourage people to come and join with me in the morning. Every day, sometimes some conflicts come and people are encouraged to call me. Some people call and then they're really in pain, in suffering. And but I told them, call me earlier for other people, but they don't want to take care of it. They don't value this wellness as much as they should.
I think also there's just so much coming at us these days,
Yeah.
and it's hard to know, what's the best use of my time? Where is my time best spent?
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot of it. And then there's just apathy,
Apathy, yeah, apathy. No,
I'm hurting.
whatever that is, that's fine, Janet. If you are, see, when you are only one on the Instagram, I'm happy to do with you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, but other people join, fine, and you have been telling other people, I know, in front of me also, you told so many people. So I want people to say this is important. That's why we should promote it. Not because Dr. Rao, I love Dr. Rao. No, I don't need that. What I need is having this movement of proactive wellness in all organizations. Everybody says everything, but they don't do the necessary thing. That Shalu is helping me to get things organized in India. I want to start a company there too, but I didn't give her that responsibility. But we are arranging the bank and we are arranging all that. But then they have they are mothers, they have children, they have a lot of duties. That's fine too. But they also have to take interest in this because they want to make themselves resilient from inside by understanding what I'm talking about.
All right.
Is that clear what I talk about? Resilience, Janet?
Most of the time.
Yeah. See?
I'll be honest with you. In the beginning, it was very difficult for me to keep up with you
Yeah.
because you know so much and you want to get it all out there. And for somebody that's just starting out, trying to walk this way of life, it's
No, what
it's not
motivates
always
Janet?
easy.
Yeah, what motivates me is this constant stimulation is real, information overload.
Yeah, it is.
I see that. And this stress that is causing is real. Lack of attention is real.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why I want to do these talks. They come into my mind, and then I produce them. I make and I say so much effort went into this before this all came into this. Okay, then
I can see that.
I have hundreds of things like this. So I need help to do that. People don't know, nobody pays me anything. Then how can I hire other people regularly? So that's what I'm looking at. I have 76 books I wrote, but I have not published them. I have to publish them. Then social media, if I want to hire somebody, they take all the money, but they don't get any clients. So that's why I stopped doing that, and I'm only doing to the friends that are coming in. Prasad tries to spread my word around. I know he did a lot of things. Like that. I want to see my friends who are really understanding it help me to promote the movement of this proactive wellness. This is one part I talked about, but I also talk about physical. I talk about emotional. I talk about leadership. I talk about spirituality and all that. I am very happy in my spirituality quest. Okay, and that is the biggest thing that we should see. Prasad, you are going to say something?
Yeah, that's a good idea. But again, as you say, always, wellness is a journey. But what I observe is, many are not like me and Janet at this point of time. Another angle I'm observing is, many are used to this ritual stuff, so they so far has developed a belief system, and that is the way. But again, time and again, several folks.
Yeah, I got through the religious things.
Yeah. So, honestly, today we reached to 1,000 people in my circle, but I see 2 people attending. People have priorities, but again,
No, even the regular people that are coming every day, when we're talking about after my morning routine, they ask for this.
right.
And then I said, okay, because they are going through the mental distress.
Mhm.
Okay, they're not
I
mental
believe that
patients.
is a different segment.
Yeah, and then they say,
Janet and
we
I
have
do
this.
marketing and business development. We need to deal with these different segments in a different way.
No,
Whatever they say,
I'm going to produce these webinars and
yeah,
record them and put it out there. They can, whoever wants, they can see them.
right.
That's it.
Yeah, we have to structure this and
No, webinar structure is there on this, for example, okay? And these are different talks are there on them, and then we're going to focus on them and then present
when
it.
I say structure, communication, so advanced communication kind of things, because people
Yeah.
prepare to be there. So
Maybe I will start advertising on Facebook because I never advertise.
could be, yeah. Send to us. We will also promote, circulate this in our circle and see.
Janet, what Prasad does, he goes to my YouTube and places some talks and puts them there. That's also
Awesome.
that's a big deal too. So because he reaches his own community, and then whoever is interested, they can come.
Dr. Rao, I have to tell you something.
Yeah.
At the hospital 3 days ago, I walked 2,800 steps.
Wonderful.
The next day I walked 2,900 steps, and yesterday I walked 1,200 steps.
Exactly. That's the first thing you have to do. Get your body ready, then mind settle, and give from the heart.
Yeah.
Janet was like in the chair, not able to move before we met her. After that, the credit goes to her. She did it, all things. She was at it, and then other thing was she talked to me if she has some problems.
Mhm.
She sent me questions. She asked me questions. I also talked to her. That kind of thing is very, very happy for me to see somebody is progressing and they're thinking about it. They're not just doing that, but they want to do it correctly. See, our lifestyles have become so out of common sense. Is to come to the common sense, first take care of your body is a commonsensical thing. You
Yeah.
know, people forget about it and they go after something where they're driven by some kind of passion, some kind of cause, and do them all, but get your instruments ready. That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
Okay, then I will take leave now. And any questions? Anything I can answer now?
I think I'm okay today. So
Okay. All right. Okay, Janet. I'll see you then. Okay.
Okay, Dr. I'll see you Monday morning.
Bye.
thank you, Dr. Rao, for your
Okay.
contribution today.
Yes, thank you.
Appreciate it.